Hello, I'm Thomas, and today I will be reviewing the Razer Deathadder V2 Pro. Finally, you palm grippers have a premium mouse you can call your own with Gen 2 optical switches, the best sensor on the market, 100% PTFE feet, wireless, and an ergonomic right-handed shape. You left-handers, get on out of here. This video isn't for you. So let's get nerdy. The Razer Deathadder has been used in professional gaming tournaments, won dozens of awards, and has sold 10 million units worldwide with 20 different editions since 2006. Currently, there are 4 versions you can buy in stores, which include the Deathadder Essential, which really you should just completely forget about because it isn't worth buying, the Deathadder V2, which is wired, the Deathadder V2 Pro, which is wireless, and the one that we are reviewing today and here, and the Deathadder Mini, which is, well, miniaturized with not as good internals for a lot less. All of these have the same exact shape except for the Mini for, well, obvious reasons, but do vary in weight, internal specs, and price. The differences are mentioned in the description. Everything said in this review will also apply to the Deathadder V2. It comes with 8 fully programmable buttons, which include 2 primary clicks, middle mouse, 2 DPI buttons, 2 left side buttons, and a profile switch on the bottom. Just under the profile button is the power switch, where you can go between turning the device to HyperSpeed Wireless mode, Bluetooth mode, or off. The 2 primary clicks are Razer's Gen 2 optical switches, which means they are immune to double clicks with no debounce to delay and have a response time of 0.2 milliseconds. Nice. They are getting closer to feeling like a top-of-the-line mechanical switch, but fall just short by feeling not as crisp, but are otherwise superior. On the Sky, it requires a light amount of actuation force with mild pre-travel and long post-travel with light spring-back force, which makes them feel a bit mushy. Click sound is quiet. My Gen 2 switches on my Viper 8K and Viper Ultimate are a lot crisper and louder, so I either got unlucky or it's due to a different shell design. If I was a betting man, I'd bet on the different shell design. I do have some very mild variance between right and left click if I am being picky. The side buttons are large with mild pre/post travel and strong spring back force, which feel super crisp and are in the ideal position for my thumb. The only negative I have is that the front button is stiffer than the back, so there is some mild variance there, which is now 2 dings for variance, which shouldn't be happening in a mouse of this price point. There's been a lot of complaints about Razer's QA. It has improved greatly in the last year and a half. However, as you can see, it is still not completely flawless. Not that I expect it to be, because I don't think it'd be possible to be flawless, but it could be a bit better. The DPI buttons and profile switch button are similar overall. I'd give the clicks on this mouse an 8 out of 10. The scroll wheel is great and requires light resistance to move with defined steps that comes across as being very smooth and accurate. I did not notice any rattle or other noises when scrolling up or down. The middle mouse button requires light pressure with a crisp click. Overall, a 9 out of 10. It comes in at 88 grams, which is excellent for a mouse this size that has so many other features. Other mice that are as large with ergonomic shapes and the same features are usually around 107 grams or more. Compared to symmetrical mice, such as the Logitech G Pro X Superlight, this is quite heavy, as most of those come in at less than 80 grams, with the newest offerings being around 60 to 70 grams. But how important is weight? Well, it really comes down to what you're using it for. If you are a competitive first-person individual who is constantly whipping his mouse around, clicking heads, and destroying noobs, and teabagging them, then a lighter mouse will probably be beneficial for you. If you're more of a casual player and are looking mostly for comfort, or you are using your mouse a lot for just normal desktop work, and or you are a casual gamer, I would definitely go with this guy. Rank it a 7 out of 10. Build quality is solid, and it comes with the same PBT-esque plastic that you see on other mice with injection-sided rubber molding. Tried to say that 5 times fast. With it being built into the frame, it will not peel off, and I haven't had any issues with it smoothing out over time or developing any other abnormalities. It does, however, pick up grime to the point that you need to clean it relatively frequently. The PVT plastic can feel a bit cheap and isn't as premium of coating as other mice. It would be nice if they started to offer colored versions more often, as those usually have a lot better feel due to having more paint on them, and that just for tactility makes it come across as feeling more premium. However, it does add a bit more weight. However, I would definitely take a few more grams for a lot better, more premium feeling device. even if it actually isn't any more premium. The shape is made for medium to large hands, is quite wide, and made specifically for right-handed use. It supports palm best, then claw. Fingertip is not advised and doesn't work well due to the large hump and overall design. If you have small hands or not very wide hands, you probably won't find this mouse to be all that comfortable, as lifting it will be a chore. My hands are 19 by 11 centimeters, and I have no issues with it. I'd rank it an 8 out of 10. It uses 100% virgin PTFE feet, which glide nicely. They're kind of shaped like a smiley face. And now that I've said that, you'll always see it. You're welcome. With the eyes and the weird little nose and the smile. It's a happy little guy, isn't it? You don't see it? Oh. The PTFE are curved, rather thick, and due to the size of the mouse, your palm doesn't rest on the mouse pad, which makes it very easy to manipulate because, well, there's no friction from your palm. If you enjoy third market states, you'll probably head that direction anyways, no matter what I say, but I do think that most people will find that won't be necessary. I'd rank it an 8 out of 10. It comes with 70-hour battery life with HyperSpeed Wireless or 120-hour battery life with Bluetooth 5.0. Both of those ratings are without RGB lighting. With normal use, with HyperSpeed Wireless, and without RGB lighting, I only have to charge it about once every 2 to 3 weeks, depending on overall usage. So I think that is excellent battery life. I definitely rate it an 8 out of 10. But before moving on, I do need to call out some BS marketing, as it is shady and misleading, and I expect a lot better from Razer. They report that this mouse has a 120-hour battery life in all of their marketing material, which frustrates me because most people won't be using that in Bluetooth mode, but will instead be using it in hyperspeed mode for gaming, as Bluetooth adds significant latency, which means that battery life will actually be closer to 70 hours. Then if you add RGB on top of that, that 70 hours goes even further down, depending on brightness and a bunch of other factors. So this leads to straight disappointment on the customer's point of view, and also makes them lose faith with the company, because here they are thinking that their mouse is supposed to last for 120 hours, and instead it lasts for like 40 to 50 hours, and they go, what the heck? Razer's trash. They're completely lying to me. This is supposed to be a 120-hour battery life, and I'm not getting anywhere near that. So, tisk tisk Razer, do better. Don't mislead your customers, because nothing about that is good. Nothing about that is good. So just don't do it. The on-off switch is located on the bottom of the device, along with the ability to select either Bluetooth by going up or HyperSpeed Wireless by going down. To turn the device off, you keep it in the middle. If you are a pleb, you can also plug in the included Speedflex Cable, which I'm not the biggest fan of, as it isn't very flexible and is a place Razer could definitely improve on to better compete with the competition, as it is just a bit too stiff, and in this sense, stiff is not better. Since this is a wireless mouse, it's mostly a non-issue since you'll only use it when charging. You can also buy the Razer mouse dock, which I think is definitely worth it. That way, it stays a true wireless device by just placing it on the dock to charge at night or when needed, and you're good to go with no wires ever actually being plugged into the mouse itself. But you'll want to buy that dock at the same time as the mouse to get $30 off. I believe the bundle is only available on Razer.com, which is pretty disappointing. The mouse itself is usually $130. The dock by itself is $50. The mouse and dock bought as a bundle is $150. And last, the mouse and dock bought separately is $180. I don't think that I'd pay $50 for the dock, as that is too expensive for my blood, but I would pay $20 for the dock because I do think that is worth it to get the nice fancy RGB, the wireless charging, and having a place to hold the dongle to get the best performance while not ruining the aesthetics of my desk. And if you already have a Razer mouse charging dock, that will also work, so you won't have to buy another one. It does come with Razer's HyperSpeed Wireless, which is supposed to be 25% faster than any other wireless tech available, if you believe their marketing. Personally, it is the best wireless that I've used latency-wise, accuracy-wise, and stability-wise, and I've heard nothing but good things about it. I've never had any drops, and it always feels ultra-responsive, and at this point, you usually can't tell a difference between wired or wireless, unless if you are really splitting hairs. I'd give it a 10 out of 10. I would do the same with Logitech Lightspeed Wireless, is also excellent, but I have had a few drops with that, which is why I'd rate this wireless just a little bit better, because I've never had any drops. However, some reviews I've read did say that they noticed some stuttering or it going crazy. I think this is actually more likely due to a defect or in some cases user error. To prevent user error, you want to utilize the long cord and extender dongle that comes in the box, which is the whole reason why it's included. When you plug your wireless dongle directly into your PC, it can cause a ton of interference because of all the metal and everything going on there. And also, the longer away your wireless mouse is from the dongle, the more likely it is to pick up interference. An example of this is if you take your phone, you walk as far away as you can from your wireless signal, it doesn't work as well. Because it's super far away and it increases interference. So for the best connection, you'll want to have the dongle sitting 6 to 12 inches away from your mouse by utilizing the Speedflex cable and dongle. And I am sure most of you completely knew that, and that was a review. And in that case, I apologize for my pandering. There were also some complaints about Razer Synapse. Sometimes it likes to work and other times it likes to punch other programs out because it's a big bully. It definitely is a problem child that most people do try to avoid. I really don't have any issues with it. I haven't had any issues with it for years now, but I know a lot of people still do. This mouse does support 5 onboard profiles, but you cannot save lighting to them, which is still lame. I don't know why Razer is super reluctant to do this, but they really don't want you to save lighting to their mice unless if you have their software open. Which means if you don't care about personalized RGB lighting, you can install it to set your personalized settings such as DPI or other things, and then uninstall Razer Synapse and you are done, and it'll save those settings anytime you turn on your mouse. Razer Synapse also no longer requires a login, so a lot of people will like that, but if you want to utilize cloud saves, then you need to set up an account. The Focus Plus sensor is the best sensor on the market, both objectively and subjectively by some margin. Through their smart features, you can adjust liftoff distance and landing distance, both manually or automatically through their software. This makes a huge difference if you are using a lower sensitivity, say 400 DPI and low in-game sensitivity. And not so big of a difference when using a high sensitivity, say 1200 DPI or 2400 or 32, and high in-game sensitivity as you are lifting your mouse less often. The more you lift your mouse, the more you'll actually see this being a benefit. There's another feature that gives you extremely accurate positions of your mouse compared to others, which has been proven time and time again in graphs from independent people who have nothing to gain by showing such things, which leads to overall greater accuracy along with insane specs such as 99.6% resolution accuracy, which is absolutely insane and was the reason why it's the best mouse on the market. All of these combined allow the sensor to feel hyper accurate and give you extremely good granular control of your mouse. Most people I've asked can feel the difference between it and other top of the line sensors such as the Hero that comes with Logitech mice, explained as being able to aim per pixel instead of per pixels, plural. There is no aberrant behavior such as smoothing through the entire DPI range. Truly, it's a marvel. I'd give it a 10 out of 10 with the Hero sensor being a 9 out of 10. So moving on to the conclusion. Obviously, the Razer Deathadder is a proven design or they wouldn't have made 20 variants of it. I do think this is the best design yet as it comes with top of the line specs and is wireless along with coming with a relatively lightweight design, which is very rare for a mouse of this size with these features. Shape will be hit or miss, with you either greatly enjoying it or hating it, and it will be limited to medium/large hands that are wider and that are used to palm or claw grip, as the other hand sizes and grip styles may struggle a bit and may just not find it to be very comfortable. I've had multiple people comment telling me that due to the shape that they actually perform better with it than they do with the Viper Ultimate, Logitech G Pro X Superlight, or other palm/fingertip mice that are a lot lighter, which is really surprising to me, which made me curious, which is why I bought this mouse in the first place, as I wanted to test those claims for myself. And I have to agree with them that you get a lot of stability and comfort when using your whole palm for something, and a lot of times I did actually perform a lot better with it. I think most of that was just being able to keep my palm off of the actual desk, which means no friction, which means no kind of stuttering and stuff like that was less often. If I add all of my scores together, it came out to 8.5 on average out of 10, which makes it an excellent choice if it fits with what you were personally looking for in a mouse. I wouldn't consider it a competitive first-person shooter mouse. However, it does play that role extremely well, but instead more of a casual mouse that brings the best of both gaming and daily use with the HyperSpeed Wireless and Bluetooth, and excellent battery life as you can switch back between those depending on what you're using, which then further extends the battery life, right? So if you're gaming, you switch it to hyperspeed and it'd use more battery, and then when you're done gaming, if you switch it to Bluetooth, it would use less battery, which means you're charging it less often, which is really nice. It would also work great for streamers, as you could pair the Lightspeed to be for the mouse on your primary PC and then the Bluetooth for your stream PC, allowing you to use a single product for both, which saves you money and is also just nice to clean up your desk. Add that to a Logitech G915 keyboard and you're freaking set with normal peripherals, right? Keyboard and mouse, and you can use them on multiple different devices. If you made it to this portion of the review, I do appreciate you taking the time to watch this whole video. I feel like this review wasn't super great, but hopefully you enjoyed it. Make my day by commenting pancakes to let me know. Like, dislike, I don't know what I'm doing with my hand. Subscribe, share, hit up the social medias and Twitch if you'd like. Otherwise, I will see you and your beautiful face on the next one. God bless and peace out.